Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome, everyone. We're here, day 2 of our Cabral HouseCalls, where we answer all of our community's questions. Not all in one day, but we do get to 6 every Saturday and 6 questions every Sunday. And we do this every single week, 52 weeks a year. And I'm happy to say now we've answered over 5,000 questions in the community just on the weekend house calls. And I'm sure tens of thousands of questions in Cabral support group and all over social media. So that's our job, right? That is what we set out to do. We appreciate you. We thank you for being a part of this community, for all of your reviews of the show, your downloads, your subscribes. If you haven't subscribed already, we would love you to do that for the Cabral Concept and any of the favorite breakout shows like Mindset and Motivation Monday, Intermittent Fasting, etc. So, without further ado, let's get into why we are here today, and that's answering your questions. So the first question, I just opened up my Pages document here on my MacBook Pro, and the first one seems to be from Janice. Again, there's no prep work for the questions. My job is to, I was just at IHP Live with so many magnificent practitioners, and I got hundreds of questions over the weekend, and so it's the same thing. If you ask me a question, we're just together, hanging out, bump into each other, this is the answer I would give you, right? Without going all deep into the research and all those things. All right, so Janice is up first. Dear Dr. Cabral, I'm very proud and honored to be a part of IHP2 Mastery community. What you have contributed to the world is amazing, and I aspire to help many people like you do. Thank you, Janice. Appreciate that. I would like to ask about your input about bone marrow donations. Searches did not seem to come up. I understand there are 2 methods of donation, the traditional method, which is collection from the pelvic bone. That's right. Yep, from the pelvic bone. And the other option is peripheral blood stem cell, where the donor will be given a GCSF injection, essentially to stimulate, right? To stimulate those stem cells. Blood is collected from one arm, it's passed through a machine, extracts the stem cells, and the remaining blood through the other arm. This takes 5 to 7 hours. May I have your thoughts on this? Is there any impact to the donor's health? I would really like to know what is your take on this from a health perspective. Thank you. Oh, that's interesting. And I believe that, I'm just trying to think back, and I'm not sure I've ever stated this publicly, but every time you do give blood, it actually does weaken the body for anywhere from days to, believe it or not, a week or so as your body rebuilds and regenerates all of those red blood cells, and in this case, stem cells as well. So it's a very interesting take. I don't know that I've ever answered that in 2,473 shows. But that is the truth. So the good news is your body will regenerate. A healthy body will regenerate. And so what you're doing is you're doing a service to that person who needs those, healthy bone marrow stem cells, right? It's for the stem cells. So I don't know that I answered your question, but basically what it means is this. I look at it like recovering from a virus. So what I do is, if I had a really bad cold, right? Like the virus that just came around a couple years back or a year back or even still now, but obviously the strain is not as strong now. I recovered in a week, but I gave myself 2 weeks of easing back into it because there just wasn't the same level of essentially dynamic equilibrium in the body. The body was still a little inflamed, no doubt about it. I was still a little tired. And so that's what you want to do. So nourish your body, right? Blood-building foods. Make sure that they're B vitamin rich, iron rich. You get enough calcium and magnesium, vitamin K, vitamin D, all the things that helps rebuild the body. All right? So that's exactly what I would do. That's what I would do. All right? For 2 to 3 weeks, rebuilding the body. That means don't push it to the limit. All right? Get sleep, good nourishment, your nutritional supplements, you're going to be good to go. All right, Chelsea's up next. Hello, Dr. Ball. When seed cycling, can I eat tahini plus sunflower seeds during the pumpkin and flax phase? Or will this offset the benefits due to opposing hormonal effects of the seeds? I eat a lot of tahini and sauces and as a source of fat, and I find it hard to plan meals without it. Oh, interesting question. So I actually only recommend seed cycling as a must follow the recipe for seed cycling. And if you don't know what that is, just search it at stevencabral.com/podcast. Just in the search box, just type in seed cycling, or you can always ask what show it is at cabralsupportgroup.com. Okay, so the answer is if you are doing this to help reset your menstrual cycle, no, you want to follow it, the 2 and the 2, right? The 2 seeds in the follicular phase and the 2 seeds in your luteal phase. Typically a tablespoon of each is pretty solid. So no, you wouldn't want to mix your tahini. So I'm just letting you know, like buy the book. I could not recommend that to you. But if you have a normal menstrual cycle, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a little bit of what you're having now. Now, my personal opinion, I wouldn't eat the same tahini-based food every day. I just don't know that I would do that. I think that again, if you are, okay, understood, totally get it. I would run an IgG food sensitivity test just to make sure you have not developed any type of sensitivity to that from an IgG perspective. I mean, meaning like it's not going to cause bloating or a skin rash or headaches, but is it causing inflammation in your body over time? I don't actually know the link for that, but you can go to stevencabral.com/labs and just look for the IgG food sensitivity test. All right. Thank you, Chelsea. Maria's up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. Thank you so much for all you do. You are so awesome, and I enjoy listening to all your podcasts. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate that. I had a question about the monkeypox. What can someone do to give themselves the best immune system for it if you were to get the monkeypox? Okay, totally get it. Very fair question. Now I have to give you my disclaimer. I cannot provide you with any medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical cures, or medical diagnosis. So if we're talking about the monkeypox, all I can say is, here's what I would do. The plan I would follow, not for anybody else, but the plan that I would follow, like I did for the other virus, is at stevencabral.com/the-protocol. stevencabral.com/the-protocol. That's what I use for viruses for myself. I can only give recommendations for myself when it comes to these types of diseases of the body and infections. So that's exactly what I would do. And I always make sure I have those products on hand. You can decide what's best for your body. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Samantha's up next. I love your daily nutritional support powder. However, I just realized that it contains iodine and I have Hashimoto's. Would you consider making a version without iodine for all of your customers that have thyroid complications? Thank you. Thank you, Samantha, for this question. And you will be happy to know I did a podcast on Hashimoto's and iodine. Let's see what it is. Let's see if I can find it. I do a lot of podcasts. Let's see if I can find this one. There we go. Episode 2391. Does iodine intake damage your thyroid or increase Hashimoto's? stevencabral.com/2391, where I bust the myth of iodine and Hashimoto's. Okay, 2 things. 1, iodine is an essential nutrient, an essential mineral. You need iodine. Like you need iodine to detox your body. So you can't just be like, I have Hashimoto's, I can't take iodine. But to be careful with that. Now, I understand how the thyroid works. I understand how iodine creates T4, and I understand how it creates T3. So I get it. Here's the problem, though. Hashimoto's is not a disease you need to live with for the rest of your life. It's an autoimmune issue with underlying root cause imbalances. Please, podcast is free. Go back, check out all my podcasts on autoimmune. Read The Rain Barrel Effect. I pay $7 to print that book for you. You just pay for the shipping. I hope that that's a fair deal. That's at stevencabral.com. Then you're going to go into a 21-day. First, I would lab test. I would do the big 5 if you have an autoimmune issue. Then, and if you can, do the bacteria and parasite stool test because there's always gut issues. Okay, 90+% of the time. Then I would do the 21-day functional detox. Then I would do the protocol recommended per your practitioner. Again, I can't provide any medical treatment plans, medical diagnosis, medical cures, or medical advice, but nobody needs to have a Hashimoto's, and it should be able to be fixed within 3 to 6 months. That's the truth. That's the truth. I mean, it really is. So please spread the word. So no, we're not going to create a DNS without iodine, but I appreciate you writing in because there's a full multi-mineral vitamin right in that daily nutritional support. So it's everything that you need. All right. Good question, though. Good question. I love it. Amy's up next. Hi, Dr. Ball. Love the podcast and appreciate your wealth of knowledge. Thanks, Amy. My question is one I've wondered about for many years. I tend to sip on drinks for a couple of hours. By drinks, I mean a protein shake, coffee with a little bit of heavy cream, coffee with protein added, etc. More than just a glass of water. Am I doing a disservice to my digestion by doing this? Would it be better to consume beverages like this within 30 minutes or so? Thanks for your help. All right, great question. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple parts to this. I mean, there's so many different ways I could go, right? So let me give you a couple. If it's hard to digest, you basically want to consume it, allow your body to digest it, and then go on cleanup. So it's not always on breakdown, on anabolism, it's then working on catabolism, breaking things down as well. So here's the thing though, I sip my smoothie over an hour. So it's not like I'm radically different than you. A lot of people say, oh, how are you drinking cold smoothies in the winter? First of all, I let it warm up just for a few minutes. Second, I put in ginger. That warms it up as well during the winter months. And so that's that. So I like to time release that over an hour. But I might drink that at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And then I don't eat essentially from 9 to 12 or 12:30, somewhere around there. And then that's when I have, my lunch. So I'm always getting 3.5 hours really between meals. So I do recommend that. Now, if you're a sipper, it seems like you're a sipper, right? So that's okay. So you can sip on iced hibiscus tea if you want, if you're in a warm climate. If you're in a cold climate, a warm glass of ginger tea or even hibiscus tea or your favorite type of herbal tea. That's totally fine, all right? Or even just squeeze some lemon or lime and a little pinch of sea salt if you want it in a glass, and you get your electrolytes. So that's totally fine. So, think about it that way. And I think you're good to go. So just kind of keep them. Eat, stop eating, eat, stop eating, eat, and then stop eating, right? It's kind of like that. That's the overall plan. All right, good question though. Haley is up next. Wow, it seems like we blew through 6 questions today really quickly. Is that true? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. All right. Haley's up next. Hi, Dr. Ball. I've recently tried starting yoga, but I really struggle with any downward poses. I feel like so much pressure builds up in my head and neck, and my heartbeat seems to pound in my head. Is this normal? And any suggestions for improving? Totally get it. Totally get it. I don't know that this is you, but a lot of people with dysautonomia have this particular issue. And you feel like your face is going to explode because so much blood is flowing to it, and then you feel like your heartbeat is in your head. So I totally get it, totally understand. Sometimes you can get tingling skin. So here's the thing, and what I found actually be really effective is working your breath through it. So you're about to move into that position, and you just don't want to be doing deep breath holds where you're building up all of that what's called intra-abdominal pressure or intracranial pressure, where all of that's being built up. You need to release all of that pressure that's inside of you. Try that first. And then my recommendation is try to get in a little bit of air when you're doing those. Now I know with your different asanas and your yoga-based poses that there's certain breath work, but again, you want to be able to do it. I think that's more important first, and then you'll get there. Now, the second part is just make sure that your cortisol levels, your epinephrine levels, everything is balanced. I feel like I've recommended this a lot over the last couple of days, but you just may want to look at your overall hormonal-based levels, just in terms of maybe even cortisol as well. And that's what I found to sometimes correlate too. So you can find that at stevencabral.com/hormones-test. It might be one we're looking into, that's all. So yeah, but again, no need if you don't feel it's the right fit for you. Try the breath work first, the relaxation-based techniques, and give that a shot. And then over time, you might be able to hold it longer and longer and longer. All right. That is it. We finished them. We did it. I love the questions. I always do. I love being able to answer and really connect with the community in this way. So again, thank you so much. I'll be back tomorrow with our Mindset and Motivation Monday show. Don't miss it. Take care, everybody. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data, and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my health results accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.